15 fashion rules every man over 40 should break in 2025. Did you know that openings on the backs and sides of suits weren't designed to make them look good? Rather, they were put in place to make horse riding easy. So you won't necessarily be making a fashion blunder if you decide not to have one. In the same way, there are lots of fashion rules you don't have to follow, and in this video are 15 fashion rules every man over 40 should break in 2025. We will go on in a moment, but in the meantime, kindly hit the like and share buttons. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you are new here. Moving on. 1. Wear a suit if you want to look great. Dressing up is great, and we hold absolutely nothing against it. However, contrary to what a lot of people think, there is no guarantee you will look fantastic because you're wearing a suit. The most important factor you should consider when putting on an outfit is how well it fits. Going by this, you might not necessarily look better in a suit than you would in some other outfit. The fact is, it is possible to have a sloppy appearance, even if you are wearing a $5,000 suit, so long as the suit doesn't fit your frame. You will not look so great in it. 2. Expensive clothes are always of high quality. This fashion rule has been in existence for a very long time and is one rule several young men follow. While some do so because that's what they have always believed, others follow it because it gives them some bragging rights. As a very young man, it might seem just okay to assume that expensive clothes are always of high quality, but this is a mistake you shouldn't make as a man 40 and above. There are times when expensive clothes are of high quality, but there is really no rule to this. Sometimes, the money spent on an expensive fashion item has nothing to do with its quality, but everything to do with branding. You could actually get good value for your money when you spend on an expensive cloth. However, you just might be paying for the cost of running someone else's business, and not necessarily for the quality of the clothes. 3. Buy more clothes to avoid repetition. It is common knowledge that you don't have to worry about repeating your clothes when you have several clothing items. While this fashion tip in itself isn't bad, it can be quite misleading. Contrary to popular opinion, you can avoid repeating outfits even if you don't have a lot of clothes in your closet. Instead of spending more money getting clothes, you should focus on mixing your clothes better. It's okay to have more options than you need if you can afford it. However, you really have nothing to worry about if you can't afford all the clothes that you want. With a moderately sized closet and the ability to mix colors properly, you can look a lot better than folks that have their closets full of clothes. That's not all. If you fall into the class of people that can afford all the clothes they want, you still do not have to shop whenever you see something you think you like. When buying clothes, ensure you only buy what you are sure you need. There's no point in having pants and jackets in every color if you won't be wearing them. 4. Keep up with fashion trends. For lots of folks, being fashionable is basically keeping up with the trend. Well, keeping up with fashion trends definitely has its place in fashion, but it shouldn't be mistaken for being fashionable. Now, one of the easiest ways to have a better appearance is to follow a couple of fashion trends. With this, all you really have to do is buy a couple of clothing items that are in vogue, and you will be transformed overnight into a different person. Of course, you will attract lots of compliments, but while at this, you have to remember that trends come and go. So it's only a matter of time before you're no longer able to wear your clothes. At this point, you will have to buy new clothes, and the cycle continues. This might seem okay for young men. However, for men 40 and above, it could be considered childish. At some point in your life, all you really need is to spend on good quality clothes that fit very well. If you do this, you will be considered a lot more stylish than someone that is all about following trends. 5. You should wear to match. The notion that outfits have to match has been around for a long time, and it doesn't seem like anyone is willing to challenge it. It is quite easy to appear put together when one has a monochromatic look, So a lot of people have stuck to this and have made a rule out of it. Now, there might be nothing wrong with a monochromatic look, but the fact is, it is basically a very safe way to dress. That's not all. Sometimes a monochromatic look can actually end up being a disaster. Although difficult to believe, every color has different shades. So, if you are targeting a monochromatic look, you might end up looking bad if you wear different shades of a color. You don't have to appear with a monochromatic look. Actually, what your aim should be is to have decent harmony in your appearance. If your clothing items are in harmony, then you are fine. 6. Slim fit clothing is for slim men, while larger clothing is for big men. Over the years, when slim people want to look good in clothes, they are told to go for slim fits. In the same vein, bigger men are told to put on roomy clothes if they want to appear their best. On the surface, this seems like a fact. Sadly, it isn't entirely true. The simple truth about getting the best out of an outfit is to ensure it fits you properly. You don't have to go for roomy clothes because you are big or slim fit clothes because you are slim. If a piece of cloth sits well on your frame, regardless of what your body type is, you shouldn't make any adjustments. If a large man wears big clothes because he thinks that's what is best for him, he might end up looking like a mini tent. That's not all. If he tries to look slim by putting on slim-fit clothes, he might end up exposing his big size to everyone that cares to take a look. 7. You must wear belts if your pants have belt loops. Lots of men believe they have to wear a belt if their pants come with belt loops. This fashion tip, although far from perfect, can be traced to the fact that fashion for men is both functional and aesthetic. So, if there are loops in a pair of pants, belts should be worn. Now, it gets interesting. Belts were actually designed to hold up your pants. So if your pants sit properly, there will be no need to put on belts, regardless of the fact that there are loops on your pants. Beyond the mere fact that you don't need belts if your pants fit properly, if for any reason you need to hold your pants in place, you don't have to use a belt, as suspenders were designed to hold your trousers up. That's not all. If your pants have both loops and side adjusters, you might decide to stick to side adjusters. What's more, an old tie can hold your trousers up if you're looking to go for a casual look. 8. Metals and leather have to match. There is a simple guideline to looking good always, and that guideline is ensuring that metals and leather match with each outfit. This means your watch should match your cufflinks, and your belts should match your shoes. This guideline isn't wrong. However, it was designed for beginners. As you get more fashionable, it can be broken. The entire idea is ensuring you project harmony. No color should overshadow another. So you don't have to wear a silver wristwatch because you are wearing a pair of silver cufflinks. 9. Your socks must match your pants or shoes. Wearing a pair of socks that match your pants or shoes looks beautiful, but you don't have to follow this rule. Your socks can match your tie, shirt, or any other item you have on. Well, if you aren't going for a very formal look, you can try out crazy socks. The aim is to ensure that your socks blend with other fashion items you are wearing. Always follow your favorite fashion site. As a newbie to the fashion industry, you can follow your favorite fashion site. However, you should note that they only provide guidelines. As soon as you pick up some experience in the fashion world, feel free to experiment with whatever ideas you have. 11. Black and brown don't match back in the day. Lots of folks believed that wearing black and brown together wasn't ideal. This misconception is still quite widespread. Nonetheless, it isn't one you need to follow. If you are able to create a harmonious look from any two colors, then you can wear them easily. 12. Men can put on suits. Anywhere suits are great for formal events, but trust me, you will be looked at as a jerk if you turn up for a party in a suit. Sometimes a pair of jeans and a t-shirt is all you need. 13. Copying a celebrity will make you fashionable. Celebrities are considered fashionable, but trust me, their sense of fashion doesn't always suit regular people. Sometimes it simply looks good on them because they have a fan base. Pants fit better when you wash them. Pants tend to shrink a little after they are washed. However, if you wait for them to shrink until they fit you better, you might wait forever. 15. Fasten your suit's bottom. Button buttons are meant to go through holes. Going by this, some men feel it's okay to fasten every single button on their suits. Well, as a man 40 and above, you should never do this. You can fasten the first button occasionally, the second button always, but never the bottom button. This is where we call it a wrap. So, is there a fashion rule you plan on breaking, or are you fine with all the rules you follow? Kindly tell us in the comment section below. See you in the next video.